Hello, I'm Derek Simpson, Executive Director of Long Beach Community Action Partnership, and I want to welcome you to the PadNet TV 2014 Election Forums. In this show, we will focus on the candidates that are campaigning for Council District 3. Long Beach is the 5th largest city in California and the 36th largest city in the United States. As a major city with international economic and cultural influence, leadership at every level is important in our community. When we think of the 3rd Council District, there are several important elements of our city that come to mind. The 3rd Council District includes beautiful ocean views from Bluff Park to the quiet canals of Naples. It also includes vibrant business districts such as 2nd Street, quality schools, parks, and great neighborhoods. Many former leaders from all walks of life reside in the 3rd Council District, and on this show, we want to introduce the candidates that feel they should be the next 3rd District City Council person. And they are Jack Rosenberg, who currently serves as Vice President for Crisa Real Estate. Rosenberg joined the City of Long Beach Community Development Advisory Commission in 2011. He currently volunteers with Operation Jumpstart, the Long Beach Century Club, and Food for Kids. James Lewis was born and raised in San Diego and provided technical support, missionary service in the Philippines. Lewis received an MA in global leadership and has over 3 decades of executive leadership in corporate and nonprofit organizations. Lionel Gatley was born in Long Beach and was a Long Beach public school teacher for 37 years. Gatley served in U.S. Navy and is a former president of the Historical Society of Long Beach. Gatley was also former president of Long Beach Yaqui Sister City Association. And Martha Gibson, who has served 24 years of education experience teaching and counseling, with a Master's of Science Social Work and a doctorate in education leadership. Gibson currently serves as chair on the board of directors of New Image Emergency Shelter. Stephen Bello, who has been a commercial real estate broker for 23 years and has lived in Marina Pacifica for the last 13 years. He is a 1997 graduate of Leadership Long Beach. Though all of the members who are running for the 3rd District could not be here with us, we are fortunate to have 2 guests that were able to be here. And we want to start, as we will with all leaders in the city of Long Beach, by talking about vision, because we know that a great vision can, if worked with a plan, equal a great opportunity for all involved. And Martha, I would like to start with you in just sharing with those who have an opportunity to view this particular program, your vision for the 3rd District and why you feel that's important.
Well, my vision is that we would be open for business. I believe that if we're open for business, it takes care of all of the areas of jobs, and more jobs. Mm-hmm. And we look at public safety, we look at if we have a vibrant business community, mm-hmm. then we're looking at really having population into where, our public safety is enhanced. Mm-hmm. And I look at the quality of life. Mm-hmm. As for me, living and being raised on the West Long Beach, mm-hmm. with a single mom who said, you work hard and you get ahead. Mm-hmm. Then being in the 3rd District, where now I'm able to be involved in charity and nonprofits, mm-hmm. you see that it's all about knowing your community, loving your community, and being involved for a lifetime. And that's what I'm all about. And that's my vision, is being open for business in Long Beach.
Okay. And Jack, as read earlier, you are a businessman here.
Yes.
In the community. And when you think about vision from a business perspective or from a candidate's perspective, what is your vision for the 3rd District?
Well, they're actually 2 and 1 are the same. The present situation is the mayor and our city council have gotten us through very difficult times during the recession. Our fiscal situation has improved. It's not perfect. You have to keep your eye on that forever. But right now, if you look at the statistics in the United States, the unemployment rate is 7%. State of California, it's 10, and in Long Beach, it's 12%. We need to get high-paying, good jobs that will lead to careers. Once we accomplish that, then that will trickle down to the rest of the city. We have issues in the third, whether it be 2nd Street and the Coast Highway, whether it be the wetlands issues, the breakwater, the walls in Naples. We're all right now underfunded. You know, we have kicked the can down the road on improving our streets in the third. There's just, you know, a lot of work that needs to be done. And the money has not been available, and so we have put off doing a lot of infrastructure work. We have put off hiring on the police and fire. We need to shore that up significantly. And once we start affecting this unemployment situation with good jobs, you will see everything start to get back in place the way the city, both the 3rd District and the entire city, want it to be.
Now, you cover a lot of ground. You both did, actually, in your responses. And if we were to sort of narrow the focus, because, you know, you have that first 90 days in office, that first 100 days in office, et cetera, what would be some of those first priorities that people that live in the 3rd District could look forward to as you get in and sort of get comfortable in that position? What would be like that first 1 or 2 things that you might want to address as the new council person?
Well, there are some ongoing issues that need to be addressed very quickly. One of those would be 2nd Street and the Coast Highway. Presently, the owner of that property, of the hotel, has a plan submitted to planning that meets all the requirements as the property is zoned. And as that flows through the city and they get feedback from planning, all of the citizens should be informed of what he is proposing. Because since there's not going to be any high rise in his plan, it does again meet the zoning.
So that's something then that the community can look forward to from your office, given that you were the new council person, to really sort of watch that and keep everyone informed.
Well, again, going back to your question, the first 90 days.
Right.
That is one thing that is more than likely going to carry through the present city council to the first 90 days of being a councilman.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And from you, Martha, what would you say in that first 90 days or so in terms of priorities? Because we have to kind of put a box around certain time frames. What would that be for you?
Well, you know, I want to thank Gary DeLong for really being a leader in providing the surplus and moving us on that way. The first 90 days really is continuing the connections and the interventions that have been placed by him. And that's really letting the constituents know, or the communities know, that there's a place where the police and the fire can come in and give them vital information, because that's what the community needs. They need firsthand information. And I want to push it up a notch to where it could further be on technology. And I think that that's really foremost important to the voters. The voters are smart, they know what they want, and each community has their own needs, and you need to work day to day on their concerns and issues of those communities.
Now, sticking with concerns, we've talked about the 3rd District, but as you know, being a part of a 9-person council, you're not only going to have to work on your own district, but also on the issues that serve a greater good in the city of Long Beach. We're going to have to take a break, but I want to start it with at least you, Martha, before we go to break, possibly, to talk about what it is that you feel would be the priorities from a city perspective. You've both sort of mentioned where we are now, that this current council has done a good job bringing us to where we are. But what would you see would be a priority working as a part of the larger council in that same period of time once you get into office?
I see that in order to have a strong third, you need to have a stable Long Beach. And in order for that to be done, there needs to be a healthy balance. And that's that we need all of Long Beach. We need all of Long Beach because we need wage earners that are going to work in jobs that are available for everyone as they're working themselves up through college, like I did as a single mom with 3 kids. And then you need those jobs that are available for us in the third. You need all of it, and you need to have a balance in that, and we need to create a healthy Long Beach.
Okay. Jack, knowing what it means to be a part of a team on that city council, what would you see as those priorities?
Well, the priorities, this is an opportunity that Long Beach has never had. We're going to have a new mayor. We're going to have a minimum of 5 new councilmen, possibly 6. We're going to have a new president at Long Beach State. We are going to have a new head of the port. The first 90 to 180 days, as many people as possible need to hit the ground running. I have already met with police, I have met with fire, I have talked to them about what their priorities are. How do we get them more involved with moving the entire city forward? How we get companies like Mercedes-Benz, who have leased 1 million square feet of space out at the airport. There'll be peripheral companies that will be looking at coming to Long Beach. I'm going to put together what I call my Tiger team. I've already talked to a number of business leaders and other civic leaders in order to coordinate a team to go after business.
Jack, can I just ask you to hold that thought, because I want to hear more about that Tiger team, and we're going to talk with Jack about that and with Martha as well about the 3rd District when we return.
We offer innovative youth programs here at Long Beach CAP, where our Leadership Academy and Mentoring program offers teens opportunities to learn video production, silk screening, art, and photography. We also offer Men Making a Change, where our young men have gained recognition all the way to the White House for their advocacy to improve their community, to make it a healthier place to live and prevent violence. Our community garden is on a 1.5-acre oasis where we are able to provide fresh produce to the community, as well as farm-to-table lunches in schools. Project Play is an extra special program for LBCAP because we're able to provide services to the youth where they live. These youth are provided with positive choices after school for physical fitness, tutoring, and enrichment. Our ACES After School program is offered in partnership with Long Beach Unified School District. We are serving students at 6 sites throughout Long Beach where we offer quality after-school academic and physical enrichment. If you'd like more information, please come see us here at LBCAP or visit us at lbcap.org.
Welcome back to the PadNet TV Candidates Forum. We have the pleasure and honor this particular show to be speaking with candidates of the 3rd Council District. And when we left, we were talking with Jack about the Tiger team and priorities from a citywide perspective. And I want to finish hearing more about that because we had to go to break and you didn't get to finish your thought. So could you share more about what that Tiger team is designed to do for us?
Well, the Tiger team is designed to, we know that real estate brokers represent clients, prospects that are looking for space. And there are ways to find out who is in the market. Right now in West LA, there's a lot of technology companies that are, only in LA or Santa Monica. Then they jump over us and end up down in Orange County. We need to find out who these companies are. We need to have a plan, not a commission, but my Tiger team that will reach out to these people. We need to be much more aggressive than we have been in the past You know, the example that I brought up earlier of the Mercedes-Benz deal, it's almost been a secret that it took place. You know, in my estimation, we should have a parade down Ocean Boulevard for Mercedes, because 1 million square feet is going to bring a lot of jobs. And you know, we've got to get the unemployment rate down and offer and have careers for students that are coming out of Long Beach State, Long Beach City College, going forward.
Now, Jack, it's interesting that you mentioned jobs and careers, because we all know on this set that there is a difference between having a job and a career. And for me, as the executive director of Long Beach Community Action Partnership, our mission is to help families that are in low income achieve self-sufficiency. When you talk about serving on the council, and you're representing first and foremost the 3rd District, but you're also representing the entire city of Long Beach on policy matters. When people are listening, regardless of their socioeconomic status, how can they feel comfortable that as a council member, you're going to be representative of all the needs and not just those special interests all the time? How would you give that comfort to someone who's watching, Martha?
Well, it's very simple for me. It's education. And education is the gateway for our children and youth. And as a single mom, actually as my mother being a single mom, raising us on the west side, you have my brothers and my sister who are very successful, and myself in 10 years having 3 children, having a bachelor, a master's, and a doctorate. And the way we did it is through education. So education is the gateway. I, myself, being a 24-year employee of the Long Beach Unified School District and attending the State of Education last week, one of the things that they brought up was the fact of when you are voting, that you make sure that that person is connected to education. And I'm very well connected to education. And it's very important to me because it is the gateway of opportunity.
Okay, and so from an education perspective then, you would be working possibly, not to put words in your mouth, with the educational institutions in our city as policy is made to ensure that everyone has sort of equal footing to some degree.
Absolutely.
Okay. Jack, from your perspective, hearing what Martha said and knowing what you know as a businessman, what would you say to those that are watching, regardless of where they stand in our community, that you're the person that's not only going to look for the 3rd District interests, but look for all of Long Beach interests?
Well, citywide, once again, and I agree with Martha completely. I mean, education is the secret.
Right.
You know, as young kids, when you get out of high school and some of your friends don't go on to college, you know, you turn around 10 years later and basically you've moved away from them. If you've gone on to college, as I did, and as a number of friends did. I mean, it's what education, whether it be a high school degree or a junior college degree or 4-year college degree, that's what moves you forward. Now, that being said, when you have more companies located in Long Beach, they have internships. And young people, whether they are in junior college or a 4-year college or in some cases in high school, are given opportunities by having businesses here. You know, while internships usually do not pay any money, they do open up the opportunity moving forward to continue your education. And it looks very good on a resume that if you were an intern at a company while you were going to high school, for example.
Gotcha. Now,
can I add also that, you know,
sure.
a lot of people, a lot of our children and youth will not be going to a 2-year university or a 4-year university. So really, when I add to the occupational component, I'm really on board with that because not everybody is going to college.
Okay. Now, as we go forward in these next few months leading up to April, some, as we mentioned in the beginning of this particular show, there's more than just the 2 of you. There may be more, there may be less by the time the final applications are in. But what might our community expect to hear from you as your campaign evolves? What might we look forward to in terms of, from your respective positions in the 3rd District as we look to kind of assess our candidates? Jack, what would you say?
My forte is obviously business. I mean, I've been in commercial real estate for 35 years. Prior to that, I worked at Xerox. I've managed real estate companies. I've started a real estate company. I mean, I understand the fiscal side better than anybody else that's running in the 3rd. And it's not because I'm brilliant, it's because I've dealt with it for 40 years, and I deal with it on a daily basis when I'm working with tenants and buyers of real estate to find out if they're qualified. I will bring that to the 3rd District along with to the City Council and be similar to what Gary has been as far as keeping an eye on the dollars and cents to keep getting us and keeping us solvent. I mean, they've done a very good job. And at the same time, be moving forward on the other side, and that's the income side, which leads directly to jobs.
Gotcha. Now, Martha, again on that same vein, because some may know the both of you and others may not, whether it be from the 3rd District perspective or citywide for that matter, and indeed your votes will count in both scenarios. What might we look forward to in your campaign?
Well, my experience and my professional experience is stellar because I've been a resident of Long Beach for 52 years. I myself and my children and my grandson now, who goes to the McBride High School, which I'm so proud of him, we are all products of Long Beach. We've been educated in Long Beach. We understand the community. And when I look at myself, I've worked at all levels of government, starting when I was 14. I started for federal government, then I went on to county, and then I went on to state. So I understand the profit, nonprofit, and I understand the public sector. And I have been a business owner. I am a business owner, and working with both, you need to have a full understanding. And I've seen at all levels of government, great leaders hire and bring around them, starting with Carl Cohn, great people that were experts. And they were much greater than he was. And that's what put Long Beach Unified District on the map. And that's what I want to do for the 3rd. I want to bring in experts that are far better in certain areas than knowledgeable than I am, because that's what a great leader does. And so that's where I want to move forward, and I know that that can happen on my watch.
Now, it's interesting that you bring that up because I know you will both have teams. You have, actually people here, today in the studio. But what could the community look forward to in terms of accessing you? What do you advise as the actual campaign goes along, and then as you're into office, what's going to be your policy in terms of community access? Because I think that's important. Some people will be sophisticated about that naturally, and others are going to be sort of intimidated, yet have very serious issues that they would like to bring up. What would you say to those members of your district, Jack?
I'm not sure I'm clear on the question, but I'm going to try and answer it.
Well,
I mean, access, my plan is, I will have a published cell number. I will have a published email address. And as part of my business, I mean, I'm on both, 24/7. Now, I'll never commit that I'm going to respond back in an hour.
Understood.
But they will get responses. Yeah. I never delete an email. Perhaps that's somewhat of a bad habit. Yeah. And I return all phone calls within 24 hours. I would try my best. That would be where I'd set the bar. Anything less than that is been in my personal business life, not been acceptable.
Yeah. And I think that that's reasonable, and it wasn't to put you on the spot,
no.
But it's just to, we've just heard in previous programs the importance of, first of all, voter turnout, so that we get this community to come out and vote, regardless of who they vote for. And then secondly, once you're into office, it's a matter of ensuring that you stay in tune and in touch with those constituents that helped you get into office in the first place. So that was really where my question was coming from, and I would pose it to you as well, Martha.
Well, really, for the last 4 years, I have been at all events. And as people look at my Facebook, my Twitter account, and whatever social media that I have, I am at those events. I am at those associations listening. I don't really talk because, you know, really the good Lord has given us one mouth and two ears, so we need to hear what the constituents are saying because they're savvy, they're smart, they know what's up. And so I'm at those events listening, and when I have a chance to talk, like on this TV broadcast, then I say who I am. And I want to be as real as possible and provide a clear message to the voters so that they can make an intelligent decision on who is best.
Well, I just want to thank you both. The time has flown by, and there's so much more to ask, and I know you have so much more to say. And I look forward to our community getting in touch with you. I look forward to you both running a very successful campaign as you work to serve our community. I want to thank you as our guest, and I want to thank those others who are watching now for watching this particular program and any of our future programs regarding the elections in 2014. If you have feedback about today's show and would like to access it on video on demand or want to know more about PadNet, the People's Channel, you can find everything you need at padnet.tv, and you can keep up to date with the largest and latest news that PadNet has to offer by liking us on Facebook and following us on Twitter. We know that these candidates have provided insight to you that will be very helpful, hopefully, in making your decisions as the election comes about. And we want to thank you for taking the time to listen tonight. And we want to thank our crew for doing a great job. Until the next time, we encourage you to stay informed and stay engaged. Goodbye.